These aren't your typical jets. They're the biggest, loudest, and most jaw-dropping flying machines ever created by humankind. From massive wingspans to sky-dominating giants, prepare to discover the aircraft that pushed the boundaries of aviation. Antonov An 225 Mriya. Introducing the Antonov An 225 Mriya, the unrivaled titan of the skies. Designed during the Soviet era to transport space shuttles, this colossal plane measured 84 meters in length with an 88-meter wingspan. Equipped with 6 powerful engines and 32 wheels, it was more than just huge, it was the largest. Capable of carrying an astonishing 250 tons of cargo, Mriya set the record for the heaviest airlifted payload in history. Tragically destroyed in 2022, its legacy remains unmatched. This wasn't just a plane, it was a living legend of aviation. Would you love to see this giant soar again? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stratolaunch 351 Rock. At first glance, it seems like two planes merged into one, but the Stratolaunch Rock is a sky beast with a purpose. Boasting a staggering 117-meter wingspan, the widest in aviation history, this twin-fuselage marvel was built to launch rockets directly from the air. Powered by 6 Boeing 747 engines and supported by 28 wheels, it's designed to carry payloads to high altitudes and release them into orbit. Forget conventional runways, Stratolaunch brings space within reach, one flight at a time. Airbus A380. Say hello to the Airbus A380, the largest passenger plane ever built. With 2 full-length decks, 4 enormous engines, and space for over 850 passengers when fully packed, it's 73 meters long and 24 meters tall, taller than a 7-story building. Here's the wild part, it consumes over 3,000 liters of fuel per minute during takeoff. Yet, it's remarkably quiet and smooth in flight, feeling more like a floating cruise ship than a plane. Airbus Beluga XL. It's not a whale, it's the Airbus Beluga XL, one of the most distinctive aircraft in the skies. Named for its resemblance to the ocean's gentle giant, this plane was designed to transport massive aircraft components across Europe. At over 63 meters long with a 60-ton payload capacity, the Beluga XL can carry entire Airbus A350 wings. With its oversized body and charming smile, it's not just a cargo carrier, it's a flying assembly line keeping Airbus production moving. Boeing B-52 Stratofortress. The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress is more than a bomber, it's an enduring icon of American air power. First taking flight in 1952 and still operational today, this 8-engine giant can deliver 70,000 pounds of bombs and travel over 8,000 miles without refueling. Upgraded for nuclear, precision, and even hypersonic missions, it's set to remain in service until the 2050s, potentially becoming the first aircraft to serve for a century. North American XB-70 Valkyrie. Note, the original text cuts off here, so the rewritten version does not include details for this aircraft. Antonov An 124 Ruslin. The Antonov An 124 Ruslin is your go-to when you need to move something massive across vast distances. With a 150-ton payload capacity, it's the second heaviest cargo plane ever, just behind the An 225. This Ukrainian giant can transport tanks, trains, or helicopters with ease. Its nose opens for drive-on loading, and it kneels to the ground like a mechanical beast, ready to carry anything. Tupolev Tu-95MS Bear. The Tupolev Tu-95MS, nicknamed the Bear, is a Cold War relic that refuses to retire. Powered by turboprop engines with huge contra-rotating propellers, it's one of the loudest planes ever built. Surprisingly, it's also one of the fastest propeller-driven aircraft, cruising at over 500 miles per hour. Designed for nuclear cruise missile missions, it boasts a range exceeding 15,000 kilometers and still patrols the skies. Have recent losses affected Russia's fleet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. SimpleThe 26. The SimpleThe 26 isn't just a helicopter, it's a sky crane with unmatched power. This Soviet-designed giant is the largest and strongest helicopter ever built, featuring an 8-blade rotor and a cargo bay capable of holding a small jet. It can lift an incredible 20 tons, tanks, trucks, or even other helicopters. It's a workhorse in disaster relief, firefighting, and military operations worldwide. Super Guppy. It's quirky, it's massive, and it's magnificent. Meet the Super Guppy, a peculiar aircraft resembling a winged blimp. A logistics marvel from the 1960s, it could open its nose like a door and swallow massive rocket parts, like Saturn V components during the Apollo program. Only 5 were ever made, and NASA still operates one today. Boeing 787 Dreamliner. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner isn't just a plane, it's a game-changer for long-haul travel. Constructed with lightweight carbon fiber composites, it uses 20% less fuel than comparable jets and can fly over 8,500 nautical miles without stopping. Passengers enjoy larger windows, a smoother ride, and improved cabin pressure that reduces jet lag. Plus, it's one of the quietest wide-body jets ever made. What's your take on Boeing's reliability today? Share in the comments. Antonov 22 Anti. Introducing the Antonov 22, the first wide-body transport plane and still the largest turboprop-powered aircraft ever. Nicknamed Anti, this Soviet giant can carry over 80 tons of cargo and land on rugged, unpaved runways. With 4 turboprop engines and 8 counter-rotating propellers, its roar is unforgettable. It transformed logistics, moving tanks, troops, or aid across continents. CH-47 Chinook. Recognize those twin rotors? That's the CH-47 Chinook, one of the most dependable and iconic helicopters in the world. First flown in the 1960s and still thriving, this heavy-lift chopper can carry over 10 tons of cargo, troops, or vehicles. It's also fast, reaching speeds up to 170 miles per hour, making it one of the quickest in its class. Sikorsky S-64 Skycrane. The Sikorsky S-64 Skycrane may look like a flying framework, but it's a powerhouse. Designed to lift cargo other helicopters can't, its open frame can carry up to 10 tons. Think prefabricated buildings or downed aircraft. It's even used to combat wildfires with massive water tanks. Zeppelin. Before modern jets, there were gas-filled giants. Meet the Zeppelin, massive airships that glided through the early 1900s skies, powered by engines and filled with hydrogen or helium. The LZ-127 Graf Zeppelin circled the globe in 21 days, long before jet travel existed. With luxurious cabins and panoramic views, it was the sky's equivalent of a cruise liner. But the Hindenburg disaster of 1937 ended their reign. Nothing has matched their unique presence since. The North American XB-70 Valkyrie looked like a spaceship and flew like one, too. Designed in the 1960s to outrun Soviet missiles, this 6-engine bomber could cruise at Mach 3, 3 times the speed of sound, at 70,000 feet. Its folding wingtips weren't just cool, they helped control shock waves at supersonic speed. But it was too advanced, too expensive, and arrived just as missiles made high-speed bombers obsolete. Only 2 were ever built. From sky-crushing wingspans to gravity-defying lifts, these machines aren't just aircraft, they're aviation legends. Which one blew your mind the most?